Welcome, people. Welcome to another show. Abby's back in the country. Ben's back from holiday. We thought we were all having a nice Friday afternoon, and I was just telling Ben in the backstage that my phone started popping off. I thought, what the hell? Has Gene gone live during the day? What's happened? It feels like it's the summer of madness again. And I'll check my phone. Fabrizio Romano exclusive that City have made an advance on Mark Guehi. So welcome to the Mark Guehi show. Welcome to the Mark Guehi show. We might even discuss a small matter of the Burnley game tomorrow. But Gene, yeah, it's Meltdown again. Rightly so, I think. Obviously, we'll provide the perspective. We'll provide the context to the whole situation. But actually, you know what? I'm going to go to Ben because Ben's had a 3-day break. Ben, welcome back. How are we doing? Hope you enjoyed the break wherever you were. Obviously, it was work related, but nice to have you back. But you always pick your days, don't you? You always pick your days.
It was work related, just so my paymasters, if any of them are watching and think that I was on holiday, I was working. I promise. But I doubt they'll be watching. But you never know. Yes, nice quiet 3 days. Nothing going on in the Liverpool world as per usual. And now all of a sudden we get the wonderful news that the guy that has literally had his photo taken in a Liverpool shirt about 4 months ago will be playing for Manchester City quite possibly next week. So where do we start, guys? Where do we start? I'm probably going to be the devil's advocate and try and put a bit of context to it and try and put a bit of understanding, because as a few people have said, these whoppers behind the curtains for Liverpool, they don't seem to do an interview, so they don't have to justify their decisions and they don't have to justify their actions. So we get left to sort of like piece together the reasons why they did this. And when I read the news that he was going to City, I was thinking, my word, they must have paid a premium for him. They must have paid through the nose for him. And that's the only thing I can sort of help justify it. And then I saw someone put that it was 20 million. And I was like, are you taking the piss here? 20 million, my word. But then I did see the news that he's going to be getting 300 grand a week. Now that's not no loose change, is it? So let's just swallow that for a minute or two. 300 grand a week is serious money. But they've obviously looked at the situation and they've thought to themselves, well, we're only paying 20 million for him. Realistically, he's what, a 50, 60 million pound centre back at his full value. So they're probably thinking, we're getting a 50, 60 million pound centre back. We can afford to pay him what we're paying him. But they've obviously had to, I think there's been rumours that they're going to pay him his signing on fee or whatever, maybe Liverpool or Arsenal were going to pay him in the summer. So they have paid serious money for him. So let's not like pretend that they're getting like this really cheap deal. 300 grand a week is, I think I looked at a chart before, he's their second highest earner now. Now, this is Mark Guehi. I think he's a very good player, without a shadow of a doubt. But is he an elite centre-back? I think if I'm being honest, I think he's a good player, but I think the situation is that he's got loads of versatility. That's the thing that's really appealing to him at the moment. From our perspective, he can play left back, right back, centre back. I think he's a very good player, but I also think the demands and the need for a centre back probably makes him a little bit more appealing. Whereas if he was, one of many centre backs that was available, maybe it wouldn't be that big a deal. But because there's very few available, and especially very few in our situation that fit the criteria of homegrown, which is very important to us, then it makes him even more appealing. And the fact that he's gone to Manchester City, when realistically they've got 6 centre backs already. I know they've got a couple of injuries, but you think to yourself, that's the sign of a club who's making serious moves, that even though they've got a lot of centre back options, as soon as they've got a couple of injuries, they've gone and made that jump and gone to get Mark Guehi. Trying to play devil's advocate very briefly, I think that the realistic situation is they're thinking that they're still in a title race. they're thinking that they're still on all fronts, fighting for all trophies, and they're thinking that they've gone and got Guehi with a view to getting, challenging for on all fronts. Whereas us, obviously we're still in the Champions League, but we're realistically fighting for top four. So I think they're rolling the dice now, and they're going to risk it and risk that top 5 spot, and then they keep the powder dry and hopefully bring in a couple of serious targets in the summer. That's the only justification in my head that I can think as to why they have not pulled the trigger on Guehi.
Ben, just to come in there before I go to Gene, you mentioned that he's on 300 grand. I don't think he's on 300 grand. I think it's going to be reported through the Liverpool journals. Alex Crook, for me, is very close to FSG. Within 10 minutes of the meltdown, Fabrizio, David Ornstein, everyone was reporting the deal. And it felt like a transfer deadline day. Within the space of hours, he was a Man City player. The moment they moved, they got the player. I think Liverpool put it out there that this guy is on 300 grand. So that's why we didn't go for him. I believe, and apparently Alex Crook and Ben Jacobs maybe have reported. I haven't seen it myself. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But whether it's AI generated graphics, apparently there was some, I was on Red or Live, big up to the Ben and the boys earlier, and some people mentioned that Alex Crook also mentioned in one of the tweets that he's on 200 grand. So I don't know, but for me, I don't think he's on 300.
Huh? Yeah, he said 200, and then he messaged later on and said 300k.
So I believe that's put out there by Liverpool. Maybe the answer is there somewhere in the middle. I don't think he's on 300 grand. Yes, he might have, the add-ons might include, if we win the Champions League, if we win the league, you'll get up to close to 300 grand. But every contract is like that. I can guarantee you, once the deal is completed, some of the Manchester City journalists will come out and start reporting 180 to max 200 grand. But
okay. Well, we don't know
what you want to believe.
Yeah.
It's what you want to believe.
Your opinion if he was proved to be on that?
300 grand is a lot of money. But if Liverpool lost out on a player, for me, it's not because of the 300 grand. It's because what happened a lot earlier, 3-4 months ago in the summer. It's like our player on the pitch at the moment. If you play shit football and you let and encourage teams on the pitch, you're going to bite yourself out in the arse. And that's what's happened off the pitch, Ben, for me. If you're dilly-dallying over £5 million in the summer, last summer, sorry, it shouldn't be going to the 31st of August. We needed a centre-back in mid-July. We needed two centre-backs in mid-August. You get Leone done, you get Guehi done. But because we've always treated this as an opportunistic signing for some reason, what tells me is Liverpool don't even rate Guehi that well or that highly. But that's a different conversation. So, but look, I want to go to Chin. It looks like Chin wants to get a few things off his chest. I know that. Look, I've been brought up with this lad, and I most certainly don't miss this look, because when he looks like this, it feels like he wants to spit. So the floor's yours, Sheen. You tell me what your initial reaction was when you heard this news. It was kind of half expecting it, because we've been talking about the vibe, the noise coming out from Liverpool is they're relaxed. They see this as an opportunity. And you know what? When you do that, you let other teams in. And that's exactly what's happened, Sheen.
But that's exactly what's happened. We sat here a couple of weeks ago. We were speaking about if Liverpool are going to make a move for the player in January. We're told, oh, you know what, he's not available. He doesn't want it. He wants to stay till the end. His champion, his World Cup year. Liverpool have got him boxed off to the summer. If anybody does come in for Mark Guehi, Liverpool will be there. Liverpool will come to the table and get it boxed off. And look, first and foremost, when you hear the news, I was livid, Asim, like literally livid, thinking, how have we let a centre back of Mark Guehi's quality number one, a player that was practically in a red shirt 4 months ago, let him go to arguably our biggest rivals, especially our biggest rivals for the last 8 years. We had him boxed off and we've allowed him to go to Man City. This guy's an English centre-back, a leader, a winner. He's played at Palace now and one of the catalysts in their side. We've seen him play for England now, a proper international. a Palace player who is a proper international level, perfect age, ticked every single box, and it made a perfect sense for Liverpool to go in again and get the deal done. Fast forward 4 months, and now Manchester City have gazumped us. Manchester City have beaten us to the signing of Mark Guehi. The biggest thing that I'll never ever understand, and it fucking pains me to say this. We need 3 centre backs, right? We literally need 3 centre backs, and guess what? Chutti, we haven't got one. We haven't managed to get one over the line in January when we had a player that was literally ready to go to Anfield. So when I first saw that news, I thought, okay, you know what? Chelsea had, the Man City have advanced. I thought, okay, I'm peed off, but come on, Liverpool, let's go in and do something. This is our player. This is a player that we've wanted to bring in. Let's go and make a move and make play for this player. Couple of hours later, you're hearing that a deal's agreed. Mark Guehi wants to go to Liverpool. People were saying to me, oh, Mark Guehi is a man of his word. And I was saying to everybody, what are you on about, man of his word? He doesn't owe Liverpool jack shit. He never effed up the deal. We did. We effed up the deal 4 months ago, so he doesn't owe us jack shit. And what happened? He signed with Man City. Do you blame him? If you're Mark Guehi, how can anybody point the finger at Mark Guehi? Not one person can point the finger at Mark Guehi. The finger goes to 2 people. Our board. You should have boxed this player off. You had him in a red shirt and you should have boxed him off and got him signed. Whether it was at that time you're paying 10 million extra, it doesn't matter. He's a 65 million pound player. Palace rejected 65 million pounds for him in 18 months ago from Newcastle. He's worth that money. He's an England international. What you willing to, and we were getting him at a cut price, but because we were dilly-dallying for 5-10 million, thinking we could take Palace to the cleaners, Palace played us at the end. They played us. They knew they weren't going to bring in another replacement. They played us and they took our pants down in public and kept the player. Fast forward 3 or 4 months, they're still laughing. They're still getting that money. So they've got an England international played for another 3 or 4 months with them, right? And got the same amount of money. They don't give a shit about Liverpool. Yeah, we're sat here 4 months later with our bees in our hands, thinking, "What the hell have we done, mate?" Because we've shut the bed. Yeah, we didn't want to pay the extra. Yeah, at that time, and I'm not gonna lie, Asim, I'm really, really pissed off with the board. I'm really pissed off with Edwards. I'm really pissed off with Hughes. You should have boxed this player off. And now the narrative of 300 grand a week. Okay, he's on 3. We're getting told Crook or Cook. I don't know. Is it Crook or Cook? They call him
Alex Crooks.
Crook. Yeah, he come out with a 300 grand a week tweet. Now all of a sudden we're supposed to be okay with that because he's on 300 grand a week. Yeah. Number one, I don't fully believe that. I want to see all the journalists really come out, not just Crook and Ben Jacobs. I want to see all the journalists come out and say he is on 300 grand a week. Man City journalists to come out and say he's guaranteed to be on 300 grand a week. Right? Number one. Because, okay, when I saw 300 grand a week, I did think at first, you know what? That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Make no mistake. That is a lot of money for a centre-back at 25 years old. But then I thought, okay, 300 grand. If he's a 65 million pound player, you're signing on a 5-year contract. He's on 15 on a 5 years. We're saying deep down he's worth 65 million, right? That's a 15 million pound a year. It's 15 million times 5, 75. 78 million quid for the 5 years.
Bear in mind, we were told City can't compete for Florian Wirtz in the summer.
Yeah, look, what I'm saying is this. So your whole deal is, let's say, 78 million quid. He's worth 65 in the actual market. He's worth that money. He's worth 65 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liverpool might not think he's worth 65 million. I think he's worth 65 million quid. Because I've seen players I'm not saying Liverpool should have paid 300 grand a week, by the way. But we have been shafted by Man City. Man City gazumped us, and he chose Man City over us because we dilly-dallied 3 or 4 months ago. Now, another thing that's pissed me off. Okay, I can accept. If they said to me, we're not getting Mark Guehi. Okay, go and sign somebody else then. Go and make a move for somebody else. In January, we need 3 centre-backs, man. Buy somebody else. You can't you say, we're going to keep our powder dry because we're flipping going to go hard in the summer. That's not good enough. We need a centre-back now. We needed a centre-back in the summer. Now we've got injuries and we still need a centre-back and we're not going, and we were willing to buy one in the summer, but not willing to buy one now. That doesn't make any sense. How can you want a centre-back in the summer? You've got injuries now and now not want a centre-back.
What about if the centre-backs that they want are only available in the summer?
What?
The same as the manager. What about if the players that they want or have got lined up or targeted are only available in the summer?
But they were available in the summer and we fucked it up. Mark Guehi was available in the summer and we effed it up.
Well, yeah. But
we did.
Again, that's debatable of whether we wanted them enough, and hence why we let it go to deadline day.
But then the if buts and maybes again, isn't it? Like, okay, we didn't want him enough, but fucking Man City did. Man City were willing to pay him whatever. They're a world-class team going for a title. Let's face it, they are a big football club, right? That they want the best players there. And the deal made sense for Liverpool in every, not wanting him enough. Yeah, he was a 30. How can he not be worth 30, 35 million? How can you say he's not worth 40 million? I don't understand that.
So why the change of heart then, Sheen?
It doesn't make any sense. Give me one valid reason when a centre-back is worth 60 million quid. Guehi is worth 60 million quid, if you ask me.
50 to 60, yeah.
Okay, 50 to 60 million quid. He's worth it. 25, Captain America Club, English, all that. Because there is English tax, let's be honest, and it's been proven, right? Yeah, so there is all of that. When you think of all this, he's worth that money. Why? Who's saying he's not worth it? Which flipping analyst at Liverpool thinks this guy's not worth that money? I think that's crazy. Newcastle wanted him, Man City wanted him, Arsenal were looking at him and they've got 100 defenders. Chelsea were interested. So when all of a sudden we're not interested in a player because we effed up the deal in the summer, Asim, and we were told, oh, he's going to come. No, we effed up the deal. Mark Guehi goes, up yours. He waited for us in the summer. We didn't get the deal over the line. He said, you didn't get the deal over the line. It's not my fault. Do one. Bayern were after him. Real were after him. I don't get that. He rejected us to go to Man City because we effed up the deal. That's the only real scenario I can think of. He said to us, he got pissed off and said, do one. Why else did we go in for him? You want a centre-back 4 months ago, but you don't want him 3 months ago when he's improved over the last 4 months. He's improved over the last 4 months, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I think the lines that have been spat out, whether or not we believe them or not, but the lines that have been spat out is we only wanted him because he was a market opportunity, i.e. they saw value at what he was. And
so he's not a market. So he's not a market opportunity right now. Is that what you're saying?
No, because he would have been.
City have come to the table.
Yeah, because I'm assuming the deal in the summer was what, 35 million, but it would have been probably 150, 160 grand a week, maybe 200, and now it's 300 grand a week, which is different kettle of fish to what it is now.
What was the deal?
We don't know as well whether or not we've then moved on to other targets, and those other targets may well be in the summer. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. I'm trying to think how these intelligent DOFs that we respect and we were lauding for bringing us Verts, etc., why they've decided. I'm trying to think of logical reasons why.
Okay. So if we all agree, do you agree Mark Guehi in normal circumstances with 3 years left on the contract, Ben, is a £50 million defender?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So if we can't get Mark Guehi to get his caliber of defender, we have to spend 50, 60 million pounds in the summer now.
Yeah, I think we will, yeah. But then they'll spend that 50, 60 million and they'll spread that over a longer term, and then the wages will be significantly less than what it would be to pay this money up front. We don't know how much the deal is in total for Guehi at this moment in time, whether or not they've said to him, because in order to bring him in January, City will have had to offer him whatever he was going to get on a free in the summer from either Liverpool or Arsenal. So if in the summer Liverpool or Arsenal were like, well, we'll give you a £15 million sign-on fee and 200 grand a week, well, City have said, well, we'll match that. Whatever it is that you were going to get in the summer, we'll match that and more. Maybe Liverpool were going to pay him 300 grand in the summer, but they wouldn't have paid.
The thing is, if you count the signing on fee, if you include the signing on fee, then the wages will be higher, won't they?
Yeah, no, I agree.
So nobody gives you 10 million, 50 million quid in your, a bank transfer on the day you sign. It's spread over the term of the contract.
Well, you'd assume so, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
and then they've obviously paid.
Yeah.
And then they've
and
paid.
that's what Liverpool would have done. Liverpool would have done exactly if we think that Mark Guehi was going to come on a free and still be on. You think Mark Guehi's deal in the summer was going to be 200 grand a week like last summer? He didn't even cloud cuckoo. His deal was going to be 200 grand a week plus 10, 12 million, whatever the signing on fee over for the next 5 years. And that would have taken us from 200 grand a week to close to 300 grand a week. That's what the deal would have been. Not, we were going to get him for 200 grand a week in the summer, but this summer now is 200 grand. No, it doesn't work like that. But agents aren't stupid. Players are not stupid. They know they can get a lot more. So they would have spread more payments out.
The only other conversation that might have happened is that Guehi's camp has come to Liverpool and said, right, where are we at now? What's the score? And they've said, and they're like, well, what's the future plans? What's happening in the summer? And then they've said, we don't know who the manager's going to be in the summer at this moment in time.
That was going to be my next question, Ben, but carry on.
And he said, right, okay, I'll go to a team that I know where they stand and where they're at, and I know that I'm going to.
Guardiola, there's no guarantee of Guardiola, though.
No, exactly, yeah. But he walks into the team as well. Maybe it's City at the moment, whereas because they've got the injuries, like ironically, I don't actually know whether he starts for Liverpool at the moment. That's the mad thing. We're buying him as cover, if we're being honest. If there's a top game tomorrow, you're probably starting Kanate and Van Dijk, aren't you? Realistically, you probably possibly play Guehi at right back, but again, it's not his natural position. It's not what he's been brought to be. Maybe City have said to him, listen, right, you're going to go straight in at centre half and you're going to be a leading centre half for us next season.
Okay.
If he came to Liverpool could say exactly the same thing. You're going to be our centre half for next season because Kanate is not going to be there.
Yeah, but he needs to play now, doesn't he? Because of the World Cup.
He can play. I think he plays. He can play left back. He can play right back, and he will cover these Kanate and Van Dijk a lot. If you do think that he's just gonna, whenever he was to come, it was always going to take a little bit of time. You can't just expect I'm coming in tomorrow. I'm starting. City might give him that right now for the next 2 months because they've got some injuries, but that's about it.
Yeah,
really, their centre backs. If anything, we can offer him a future, not Man City. Man City have got a lot more centre backs. We're the club that can offer him more first team football.
I'm as frustrated as Eugene, but I'm just trying to think of logical reasons why it's not.
Logic. He rejected us. He rejected us to go to Man City. End of. Because we fucked up the deal in January. That's the honest truth. I don't want to sugarcoat.
I disagree, Eugene. I don't think he rejected us. I think we shut the bed.
What do you mean shut the bed?
Out.
How would he shut the bed? What reason did we shit the bed? Is he not good enough? Is it the money? Is it his wages? Why did we shit the bed? We're fucking stuck with two centre backs.
Because the moment City came in, they thought, you know what, there's no value in this. Because I'm not talking in my opinion. I'm trying to put myself in their shoes here. I think they've said, okay, how we valued this player last summer, where we would have paid £35 million. Well, we could have got him at maybe 130, 140 grand a week.
You're not getting Mark Guehi at 130 grand a week, Asim. Have you not lost a plot?
Last year, I think we will.
No, man,
last year he's not earning more than 150 grand a week, Gene. Who do you think is fucking France Bankabar?
So when you're paying 20 million pound fee, you think a player like him, Asim, you think he fucking Chiesa's on 140 grand a week, yeah? And you think Mark Guehi is gonna say, okay, 120 I'm all right with. But
what's he on now?
Who?
What's he on now, Mark Guehi?
Mark Guehi, if you not think Mark Guehi was going to accept
what was Guehi on
the week at the age of 25, you're living in cloud cuckoo, man. Asim.
He
was going to come minimum.
I reckon he was on about 80 grand.
If Mark Guehi was on 50k, that's a fucking big jump.
Asim, he's not going to. But then other clubs were willing to pay him a lot more.
Last year they weren't.
Asim, he just wanted us.
They weren't, Gene.
Nah, man, he wanted us. Of course, other clubs.
I would be very, very surprised last summer, Gene, if we got Mark Guehi for £35 million fee and 200 grand a week. 200 grand a week, Gene, man. He's not that level.
So I'm asking when you're paying. Okay, one second. If you're
sorry.
remember one thing, if you are getting a player on a cheap, in terms of their contract and the value, that you have to make up for it in the wages.
Yes.
You have to make up for it in the wages. So you're buying Mark Guehi at 30 million quid when his market value is 50 to 60 million quid, right?
Yeah.
If you think a player of Mark Guehi is then going to accept 120, 30 grand a week, yeah, come on, man.
6 months. 6 months. 6 months is a long time, Gene.
You're living in
6 months in football is a long time. 6 months is a long time, Gene.
Bro, if he had come in, I would love to know what the agreement was at Liverpool. When if you think the thing is,
yeah, we'll never know.
140. What's Gakpo's contract?
I think it's 180.
Okay,
that's his new contract, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's his renegotiated.
That's his new contract. But
new contract,
right?
Yeah, Mark Guehi is going to earn more money than Gakpo, Gene.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to earn more money than Gakpo, but if he's on 200, these guys are saying it's 200. I don't believe if it's 250. These guys are saying, right? But anyway, but Asim, his fee is nothing. His fee was literally 30 plus 10.
Last summer.
30 plus 5. So compared to what he was going to be on 200 grand a week. I'm telling you. If you think he was going to be less than 200 grand a week, I don't believe a word. He was going to get minimum 200 grand a week at Liverpool. Because that's how you have to make up for it. Why would he go to Liverpool then?
It does actually say on what's called on Capology, which is like one of the big databases for salaries, that Cody Gakpo's on 250 grand a week.
If Cody Gakpo's on 250 grand a week, boys, if that is true, okay, these guys are saying, somebody just come up with this. 170 was agreed last summer. Okay, if 170 was agreed last summer, if that's last summer's fee, what was he going to agree now?
What? No, look, we can't go by this. Come on. There's no nothing, Gene.
What?
Come on Guehi's wages last year?
No, when this was it was agreed with Liverpool, he's saying.
Yeah, but no. Gene, the wages, nobody...
Wait. So how much do you think he would have got Liverpool if he signed last summer?
150 grand.
I think so. That's about right.
Gene, he was on 150. He's on 50 grand a week.
It doesn't matter if he's on 50 grand a week. You have to look at market value.
No, Gene. No, because...
Yeah, so it says he was on 50 grand a week at Palace.
50 grand a week.
Yeah, that's why it's contract. This is his big payday, man.
And he's got that. But the thing is, last year, that's what I'm saying. 6 months in football is a long time, Gene. But now, in January,
guys, and one year left on his contract, you think he's still going to be happy with 140, 50 grand a week like a Chiesa, England international, captain of thingy. Come on, bro. Okay, look, they agreed at 170. If it's a 170 was the okay, sorry, I don't want to make into a way 170 grand a week, and he would have got to. I'm telling you right now, if he signed with us right now, he was getting minimum 200 grand a week, minimum.
No, I agree with that, Gene. I agree with that, because now you've got 6 months where he's looking at the summer. Whether he's talking to City, whether he's talking to Villa, Liverpool, he's saying, look, I could be a free agent in 6 months' time. So you have to consider that in my wages. And that's what City have done. So I think Liverpool has shut the bed. They've shut the bed. They haven't come to the table.
Liverpool shut the bed because of the money.
I believe that.
All right.
I believe that. Now, that's a criticism. That's not an excuse.
Okay.
That's a criticism.
Fine.
But I don't believe
your reason.
Whether you think
when a player rejects you,
we don't know if Liverpool came to the table. Semenyo, I genuinely believe he said no to Liverpool. He said no. We were picking up the phones in November and December, and you don't have to make a bid. Look, you can say to me, Asim, I don't care if Liverpool didn't come to the table or came to the table. You don't have to put a bid in for thingy. But here, I think Liverpool shut the bed. They shut the bed. And,
why?
City,
they didn't want to pay the money.
City showed more ambition than us. Simple as.
But you've got to look at the context as well. Like, we're in negotiations with Canate to sign a new contract. So if they're offering Canate 200 grand a week and saying, you're our main man, 200 grand a week, and then Mark Guehi walks in off the street on 300 grand a week, like, we don't know for definite, or 250, it messes them negotiations up. Like, City come across as a team who are like not asked in the slightest about what they want. If they just see a player, they're like, right, okay, we'll go all in for him, and we'll pay whatever we have to pay, and that's the end of it. and they either say yes or they say no. But in our system, there's a lot more. It feels like there's a lot more planning and structure behind what they're doing, and these
planning and structure. We're starting with the 35-year-old centre back, and we're starting with the players' fucking contracts finishing this summer. What structure do we have? There's no structure.
Well, I'll tell you the structure. The structure is they've got probably the best number 9 apart from Haaland sat up front on £130 million. He didn't come in for popcorn sheen. He come in for serious money. They've got Florian Wirtz, who's come in for £116 million. You can't buy a whole team in 18 months that to the level of that we want.
I understand that. I'm not, but when you
don't know, because you just want to spend, and we can't spend. So what about if Bastoni is on the radar for the summer on 300 grand a week, and we go and get Mark Guehi, and then Bastoni says, I'll go to City then in the summer? Everyone will be on here going, oh my word, why did we get Mark Guehi? Why didn't we wait for Bastoni? We don't know what the next phase of the plan is.
We don't know.
We don't know. Remember when everyone...
You don't know the phase.
I remember when everyone...
Nobody knows anything. Right down. We can only go by what we see. We can only go by what we see and what we get told. Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing the picture that I'm seeing right now, and it's plain to see by everybody, guys, is Liverpool have got a 35-year-old centre-back and one that's going in the summer. That is the picture that I can see, if I'm honest. And we need 3 centre-backs. We should, and we're sat in 4th. There is the jeopardy we could miss out. You think Bastoni is going to come to a club that's going to make top 4 next season?
No, but I think they think
these things can happen. This is why you have to make moves. City are 6 points behind Arsenal. Some people can say, you know what? They might not even win the title. They're at least making a go of it. They're at least bringing in. They saw an issue. They're trying to deal with it.
But this is my question, Ben, is the difference between City, whether you think Liverpool shut the bed or not. At face value, City are going for it. And we've done it too many times where we're writing seasons off. How many times Liverpool wrote seasons off? Is this is the reason why we're so frustrated today, is because if it's not Guehi, then they go spend another 20-25 million pounds going to France, going to wherever you want, going to Spain. There must be someone at a kind of level that Mark Guehi is at. And you can pick up a 22, 23-year-old if you want to save a few bob. But Liverpool have wrote the season off, and we're just praying that this league this manager is just good enough to get us top 4. For me, they don't give a shit about the Champions League or anything else but top 4. That is critical for them because there is too many things reliant on top 4 and Champions League football. If they get a great run this season, brilliant. But for me, Ben, that's not good enough. We've just won the league. And it's happened too many times where we're not asking for Liverpool to go and spend another £100 million. But just look at the situation. We're one injury from total capitulation, and where we're facing our season to be derailed. That's how serious the situation is. So if it's a serious situation, then you get serious as well. But the men in suits, one thing that they don't come out and speak and don't give any interviews. So we have to speculate. We have to take the situation at face value. But right now, as we see the squad, Ben, we're so short. And I mentioned it a million times. In 2026, is Joe Gomez. He's not he's not seen as covering one position now. It's across the back line. But if I'm really honest, I'm not really angry at losing out the Mark Guehi, the player. Because I do believe there are very, very similar players out there in Europe and in the Premier League as well. But they might cost you a bit more. But now that's what Liverpool have put all the pressure on themselves. The men in suits. If you're not going to back your man in January, he is your man. He is the yes man for these lot. He has been put in front of the cameras for them since that first interview Richard Hughes did with Arnie Slot. But if he doesn't get it right, we're coming for you in the summer because you cost us Champions League football, and it won't be for the first time.
Yeah, but again, I just say if we'd have gone back to the summer and we just bought Mark Guehi, and then maybe we bought another centre-back because we need another centre-back. So say we went and paid 60 million for Mickey van der Ven, and then we went into the season. But because we put our money into centre-backs, then we didn't go and get Wirtz, or we didn't go and get Isak, and we went back into the season with Nunes, or we went back into the season so that our front three of Gakpo, Nunes, and Salah. then we would be short at this point now up front. Well, we already are short up front because we've got injuries. But what I'm trying to say is we've chosen to put our chips into serious attacking options. And now those attacking options, the two main ones, have failed essentially. One because of injury, one because of adapting to the Premier League. But we've chosen to put our chips in those into those two players. Hence why we haven't spent the money in the other area. Now, I know on the face of it, getting Guehi for 20 million doesn't seem like that big a deal at all, and we should do. But I think what they're looking at is the length of the contract and the amount of wages that he's on. It just doesn't tick any boxes. I can only hope that it's because they've got others lined up instead of him in the summer. And that's the only thing I can think
of. It's a
of.
very similar situation to the Luis Diaz situation in terms of, I love the player. I love the profile. I love his work ethic. If you're going to let him go at the age of 28, 29, and okay, if there was a compromise, he wanted to leave, Liverpool weren't willing to give a contract, so it was all best for all parties. If you're going to do that, Ben, then you need to make sure you bring the replacement in.
Yeah,
so
no, absolutely.
Lose out on Guehi. If Liverpool had another centre-back, I thought, you know what, keep your powder dry for summer. If you've got a long-term option in someone like Schlotterbeck or Van der Ven or even both of them as well, then fine. I can see it. And maybe in 6 months' time, look, we don't have hindsight here. We're speculating as well. And maybe they think, okay, fine, we've got 2-3 centre-backs, like Gene is saying, to go for the summer. Let's just keep our wage structure. But we'll only make that, call in the summer. But at face value, we want to win now, Ben. This season is not a write-off. It's not a write-off. Yeah. We've shown and we've proven that we can
quit winning. I want to fucking consolidate top four.
That's what I mean. About that's winning. What I mean. Top four is winning this season. Top four is winning this season. That's the expectation that we've changed now. But I also want to get, if we want to have go into the business end of the Champions League, we need some centre backs. We need some centre backs. And the irony is he's got this 11 unbeaten run is because of probably the natural depth in the midfield, where he's still had Bajetic and Endo and all these guys that he doesn't trust, but they're injured as well, that they haven't played a minute in the Premier League or wherever it is, close enough to it anyway. But the depth was there for Wirtz to play on the left wing, from McAllister to play in the 10, for Ryan Gravenberch to go from midfield to play centre-back, even if we got down to 10 men, or if we have to chase the game. And Szoboszlai at right-back. He had all these luxuries because he had the depth. So that hierarchy, if he's your yes man, then give him the depth in the attacking areas. Give him the depth in the defensive areas as well. But it's the same old way for Liverpool. Whether it's under the Klopp years, under the Michael Edwards, all these guys, every single summer, Liverpool are 1 or 2 short. And we're having this conversation right now. But in 2 years' time, we're going to be having the same conversation again. We know it. You know it. Because it's going to be, who is the successor for Van Dijk? Who is the successor for Salah? Because we're going to be wondering, we didn't really act. We didn't really have a succession plan. But believe you me, we're going to have to fork out some money to replace them legends. They're not legends. Everyone knows how good they are in terms of the generational talents. But every single top 4 is enough for them, because it gets Champions League, it gets the sponsors in, and it's that at that level where you don't have to pay crazy wages. You pay the crazy wages to the generational talents of Alisson and Van Dijk and Salah because they're superstars. But if you get continued success, then you have to match it with ambition and wages. But for me, they just don't do it. Because yes, they spent £450 million, but don't forget, I was on the show at Radio Live earlier, and Mohammed mentioned that we've spent 400 million net in the last 10 years. That's £40 million a year. Yeah, Everton have probably spent more. And they've got a new season stadium as well, just like us, a few stands. So that is what's frustrating in the fan base, Ben, where we're a big club. We want to rub shoulders against the best. But when it comes to this, showing just a bit more ambition to really go for it, to really go for continued league titles, we're just not there because we don't have it up here and we don't have it down there.
But I also think realistically, like they're not pocketing the money, are they? They're not taking dividends out of the club. This is not like FSG greed sort of thing, and they're like taking all of the profits. It's very much the line is always everything that we make, everything that we earn goes back onto the pitch and goes back into the squad. And, you know, you look at City's squad and people say, oh, they're thin and they don't spend much money. They've got Calvin Phillips and Kovacic on the books still there that haven't kicked the ball for them for 2 years or something. And they're on like 150, 200 grand a week. They you know, they've got Jack Grealish on loan at Everton, cost them £100 million. And there's talk of him going to Everton on a perm for 20 million in the summer because they can just write off £80 million because they did what they did, and Liverpool just aren't in a position to be able to make those mistakes and write that sort of money off.
Okay, that Man City I can accept. That, you know what, they're a club that's like that. Yeah, you know, they've got crazy money. You look at Arsenal. Let's compare ourselves with likes of Arsenal. Then are we okay? Are Liverpool okay to compare themselves with Arsenal? Forget
but then
the
don't you
United.
think?
No, one second, forget the Cities, forget the Uniteds, forget the Chelseas. They've got crazy money. Let's forget them. Let's compare ourselves with Arsenal. Arsenal spent more money than in the summer. They didn't sell a player, right? They did not sell a player. Yet they went and spent. They've been spending to get to where they are because they know you can't be static to have continued success. You have to try to get continued success. You have to at least go and spend money. Yes, their wages are not as high. I can accept that, as high as ours. But yet, they still spent more than us and didn't get rid of a player. Their net spend was a lot more than us in the summer that's just gone. Because you have to do that. How can them guys still spend more? How can Arsenal spend more than us when we're the ones that have been competing for titles? We're the ones that have won more over the last 10 years. They're the ones that are spending more. How can we compete with them? We've got we've got the, you know, you look at the even if you take this, put this big summer that we spent 450 million, if you look at the net spend over the last 10-15 years, it's a fucking joke compared. We've got the likes of Bournemouth and, you know, West Hams and other clubs that have gone and spent a lot more money than us. How can we always be the fucking cheapskates?
Yeah, and that's why Klopp has been so unreal, because he's papered over the cracks by getting, like, you know, turning water into wine in terms of the amount of money that we've spent compared to other teams has been grossly less, and yet we've still competed for and won major honours. And I think that, you know, the reality is now that we haven't got a Klopp no more, and in order to compete now, we've got to start spending serious money. And to be fair, we did spend serious money in the summer, and I expect another serious spend in this summer. But I can live with this January not spending crazy money, or any money for that matter, if they've got serious targets again in this summer. Now, I know that means that this season is then effectively what we call a write-off. But I think if you're being honest, you could go and buy 3 players this window, and there's not any more likeliness, I don't think, that we're going to finish any higher than what we are. We're relying on the luck of injuries, because you could easily go and buy 2-3 players this window now, and then get 2 or 3 injuries, and then you're straight back to square one. You can't build a squad under the assumption that you're going to get injuries, and that's what Liverpool do in general. They buy the players to put the money and the wages on the pitch. They don't generally have a lot of money and wages on the bench. That's the way they work, and that's the way they've worked pretty continuously. Whether that's the right way of doing it when you have a season where you have injuries, possibly not. But then when it all works, it comes to fruition, doesn't it?
Yeah, but Liverpool won continued success. You know, look at where the league is going right now. It's all about physicality. That's one of the main reasons why we're in the position where we're at. Is
nobody's like
physicality. It's a squad thing.
Yeah,
it's a squad thing. It's more than ever, I believe, it's a squad thing. And if this manager thinks what he did at Feyenoord, where he can play with 15, 16 players, he's in cloud cuckoo land, to Nick G's term.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. That is definitely an evolving thing, yeah. But consistently, the last 7 years, the only team to have consistent success has been City. Nobody else has had any success other than us, realistically. So we're saying that all of these other teams are way more ambitious than us, but nobody else is winning anything other than City.
Yeah, but because look, the thing is, Ben, is one, over the last 8 years, I believe one of the integral part of our success was Jurgen Klopp. This is their model. It lives by someone like Jurgen Klopp coming and turning a low budget team, a low spending team, into a world-class team. a world-class team.
Yeah.
I don't believe Arne Slot can do that.
Well,
I believe Arne Slot is a good coach, but he needs really good players to look good.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, but then
even for me, even for me, Guardiola couldn't do that job that Jurgen Klopp did. But we don't have Jurgen Klopp anymore.
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but then you look at Arsenal, and we're talking about their spending, and they're doing what they did. They bought Gyökeres in the summer. He certainly doesn't look like a player for me that can give you sustained success over the next 4 or 5 years, regardless of who the manager is. They've got some players who are of a real high caliber, but they haven't got what you would say, major game changers. Whereas for me, if you can get them fit and right, Isak and Wirtz look like players that you could say, if you can get the right potential out of them, they could build 2-3 leagues in 5 years. If they're top elite players from what I can see, and maybe that's the way that they're looking. They're saying, right, okay, we're just going to try and buy the very best we can in certain areas rather than spreading our money over like a number of players from a squad. But you do need the numbers, you do need the body. So, and we said this the other night, didn't we? That the game is changing all the time.
Yeah.
One season it's like this, and the next season it's like that, and you have to be ahead of the game, don't you? You have to be ahead of the curve.
We just going back on my point, on your point about Arsenal and everything like that. Over the years, they didn't have the cheat codes that we had in our team. They didn't have a Trent. They didn't have a Salah. They didn't have an Alisson and Van Dijk. That was the difference. Yeah, look, Mane was an unbelievable player, world-class player, this and that. But those generational talents, it was those four, wasn't it? But
yeah.
Now where the league is going, Arsenal have got just too many.
Well, yeah.
Sorry,
Alisson as well. Sorry,
I think I mentioned Alisson. Those four. But now, obviously, those guys are not the same. So the bridge, the gap is closing. The gap is closed, and they've added depth. Like Sheen said, they didn't sell one player, and we bought a load of players in. We needed to integrate the system. We lost integral pieces in the jigsaw, and look what's happened. Look, they've gone here, we've gone down there, and
but I would argue that if you have everyone back fit, and then they said, right, okay, we're going to get 2 elite centre backs and 2 elite wingers in the summer, I would say that we'd start the season in just as strong a position as Arsenal next season, without a doubt. Personally, from a player to player situation, even if they didn't go and buy another midfielder, because the midfield is really good. It's just underperformed this year. Doesn't mean that it's not good and not quality, but I would stand our team up against Arsenal all day long. Maybe it's somebody like an Enrique or an Arsenal or an Alonso that needs to bring that team to fruition. But I don't think our team is anywhere near as bad as what people think it is.
Okay, let's go to the supers. I'm sure the chat, big up to the chat. Everyone's emotional today, but it's been one of those days. So keep on liking, keep on subscribing to the channel if you're new and all that good stuff. SJ always supporting, big up. He says, seen people blame Guehi or Pulija, man. You don't think he sees Liverpool briefs saying he's opportunistic signing while City do everything to get him. 100%. Sometimes we forget it from the player's perspective as well. Yeah, money counts, but this sort of narrative, 100%. SJ has a point. Again, SJ, he says Chelsea might get Jacquet news from Germany saying Schlotterbeck new contract becoming a possibility. Who are we gonna get?
Fab's just tweeted it
about Schlotterbeck new.
Yeah.
Oh, Jacquet. Okay.
Yeah. Chelsea are in active talk this week to sign Jeremy Jacquet.
Who are we gonna get? Lol, Hughes and Edwards. Ki Barcado. Because get him out. Ash, big up Ash. Thank you so much for sending this through. He says, I don't even rate Guehi as an elite centre back, but apart from Arsenal, PSG, and funny enough, City, I think he starts for any other team. It's not a great market, in my opinion. Some would say more reason to snap him up then. 2024 summer, big up Ash again. 2024 summer, we made profit. 2025 summer, our net spend £225 million was less than Arsenal. So I don't get your spend point, Ben, ? Same old crap. We're always left short every season. There is no strategy. Maybe you want to come back to that on that, Ben, after I've completed them. Reggae Dragon 22, we won't spend if we don't make Champions League? Question mark. Well, we will spend, but might look in the Championship. Mohsin Khan, thank you so much for sending this through. He says, "How is it after winning the league? Our squad is weaker than the year. This year, last year we badly miscalculated the summer window, and that's on Hughes/Edwards." Ben.
We'll go back to Ash's one first.
Okay.
Again, you know, he said summer 24, we made a profit. Correct. Obviously, we spent 225 this summer. But when you say spend, you know, I agree. I do agree. But I can't. There's nobody, and I repeat, literally nobody at the end of the summer window saying we've got no strategy, we've got no ambition. Where are we going? Everybody was excited. Everyone was enthused. No one was saying, oh my word, we're like 5 players short or something, which is what we're saying now. All right, we all definitely said that we needed a centre-back, and I think we can all agree that that was a mess up. But I don't think anyone said that there was no strategy. And as I say, I think that they're going big in last summer, and they'll go big this summer again, and they might even go big the summer after, and they're doing it in a block. That's what I believe to be the case. If this summer comes and we go back to, like, you know, spending 30-40 million net, then I'll be like, well, what actually is going on here, to be honest. But I've got to believe that this is being done in a cycle, because you don't buy half of a new car, because you can clearly see there's gaps in the squad. You can clearly see they've left a space at left mid in the front three on the left. You know, this Rio nonsense about pathway, we all know it's gobblers. They've left a spot there for that player. There's now a spot there for them to replace Mohamed Salah in the summer. That's pretty clear to see. There's a spot there to replace Kanate at right centre half in the summer. That's pretty clear to see. And I think there's probably a slot to replace McAllister, who will go in the summer. So I expect 4 elite signings in the summer. And if those 4 elite signings come in the summer, then you can say that there's no strategy, but then equally you can say, well, we've built a new league title winning team in 2 years. And all right, this season hasn't gone the way we want it to go, but I'm still convinced that if things had gone better this season, if Slot hadn't made the mistakes that he'd made, if everything had gone the way it is, Isak hadn't got injured, and we'd had a much more productive and better season, people wouldn't be saying we haven't got no strategy. We'd be saying we're building for the future.
Quotes from the manager, Gene, on the from the embargo section. Arne Slot on the prospect of defensive arrival this month. Are we less stretched in attack then? I am a bit surprised people are talking like this. Slot said when asked about the prospect of a defensive arrival this month, you think we have more options or in the front? Question mark. I am surprised people are so focused on our last line. Okay, so he basically thinks our attack is the priority here. And then he went on to say everyone is aligned, everyone knows what the challenges are, and we all agree. But that is not to say there is no possibility for us to act, because as you know, this club has always waited for the right moment and never from a position of panic. If only Ali Slot was in the chat today. There's no panic here. I think there's one more. If the right player arrives for multiple reasons, no matter what position in our team, it could be last line, midfield, or attack, then we will act.
You won't do shit. That's what's gonna happen. You ain't doing shit. Just fucking chatting bollocks, man. Same old shit. We've had 4 windows under these Hughes and Edwards, yeah, and we have to look at the 4 windows. In 3 of them, we hadn't done no business, and then 1 of them you were left short. We've had 4 windows under these Hughes and Edwards now, aren't we? 4 windows. 3 of them we didn't do anything, and we're left short. We've only spent in 1 window. That was the one that's gone, and and Arsenal still spent more to stay to carry it. Look, can't be asked, man. It's bullshit anyway, man. This is towing the club's line. You need fucking defenders. It's not rocket science. It is not rocket science. Forward line, Salah's gonna come back. He's gonna be back in a week. At least that's another forward that's come back. Hopefully, Isak in a couple of months will come back. It's okay. In defense, bro, they're not coming back. Bradley's not coming back. Leone's not coming back. Joe Gomez gets injured all the time. What's this Endo course he's on? Some people are on about. I bet Endo's the best fucking centre back in the world. Wait.
Someone's just put the net spend chart up since 16-17 to today. Man United top, Arsenal second, Chelsea third, Tottenham fourth,
Oh, see, what did
Man
I tell
City
you?
fifth, West Ham sixth, Newcastle 7th, and Liverpool 8th. So Liverpool's net spend, according to this, is 491 million since 2016. And City's is 605 million.
Right. Endo, you know what he said about Endo, Asim?
Go
If
on.
not, basically, if we don't sign it, if not, we do it with the players we have, because Water has come back now as well. At this moment, there are only 3 players who are out with long-term injuries. Water is going to become, the savior of Liverpool Football Club if there's an injury. Fuck me.
You know, the irony is, this is the same
I knew
player.
this. We all knew this bullshit was going to come out in the thingy. Oh, Wataru Endo, fucking Franco Baresi is coming to Liverpool now. We've got a player that's coming back and he's that good. Yeah, this is what we were going to hear. Bollocks, man. Look, it's fucking. I'm fucking sick of it and I can't be asked.
Oh, you know, the irony is, Ben, you're probably looking at the.
Sorry, mate. Yeah.
In regards to Endo, the irony is, this is the same player that he didn't trust last season, and rightly so, because for me, the way he wanted that midfielder to play, Endo wasn't that player, and Gravenberg was one of the reasons why he excelled in that role. But in Slot's perspective, in his eyes,
we will only
he didn't trust him.
worse.
So
By the
now
way,
this is sorry.
We
So
will
now
only actually things get worse.
Yeah, suddenly this is a player that he trusts all of a sudden. He came on for 5 minutes at the end of every game, not because he trusted him. So everybody basically can sing the Endo song, and he can have a little cameo where you can put a few tackles in and we can all go home happy and sell a few shirts in Japan. This is the same player now we all are investing our trust in and hoping to solve Liverpool's problems all of a sudden. Do you take us? Is this guy taking us for a joke?
He's not going to play Endo. We all know that. But then the
Yeah,
alternative...
Don't try to justify it then.
No, well, the alternative comment is for him to come out and say, I'm not being supported, I'm not being backed, they've let me down, the DOFs, and then he's out of a job, isn't he? So he's just playing lip service to them, isn't he? So maybe he should just say
exactly
nothing.
Exactly that.
Can I just say, he said some more comments. You know what he said in the end of one of the comments? He goes, but if there is an opportunity in the market, or if things get even worse, we can have a different situation in terms of going to the market. But Serena, how much more things do you want to get worse? How much more things do you want to get worse? What do you want? A fucking injury to Van Dijk and Ekatike, then you're going to act. You know, in a bad fucking... I don't want to fucking say this, like, and don't get me... I don't want to say this, but you know what? Sometimes things need to be said. You know, these piece of shits, you know, you know what? It's wrong for me to say this, but I'm going to say it. In a way, in a larger, they deserve it. You know, if you miss out on top 4 and 5, these fuckers deserve it. They fucked us up then. Because they knew they had to go and sign these players and they didn't. This manager, this team needs help. This manager and team needs help. Fucking help them.
Oh, Indy's busy. Indy's writing a new exclusive. Let's go to the supers. There's 625 of you here. Come on, people. I guarantee you, out of those 625, there's at least 300 that don't subscribe to the channel or even haven't liked the stream. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel because it helps massively. Thank you. I think Selection's in the house. Yes, he is. Big up my honest. You people discuss me. Lol. Volatile. Look, we're frustrated. We're frustrated, Selection. And rightly so. Because this season, if we were in 10th, where we didn't have the trust in the manager, we didn't have even a reasonable replacement available in the market. We've got more than a reasonable available replacement in the market now in Xabi Alonso leaving Real Madrid. Then you could say, okay, you know what? Just don't spend and give the new manager in the summer 150 million pounds if you're not going to back this guy. But we're 4th. We've beaten some really good teams this season. Only last week we played really well in the second half. We controlled the game against Arsenal. So why, if he's yours, yes, man. Only 2 months ago you backed him. So if he's yours, yes, man, then give him just one signing. We're not asking for 100 million.
By the way, Selection, you know, a couple of months ago, you were saying, yeah, don't worry, back the owners, back the thingy, they're going to sort this out in January. I remember you were tweeting on here, you sent us a super chat about it. Nothing about that anymore, is there? Nothing about, where's the spending on? You said we were going to buy in January. You even sent us a super chat about it. But now kuch nahi.
But then
Anyway,
that
move on
also
to the
works
next
in
one.
the summer, though, doesn't it, Gene? In that,
Sorry?
if we go and buy, that also works in the summer. But we go and buy 3 more belters in the summer, then we can't be giving them any praise because we've already sold them down the river.
Ben, no. Did we not praise him in the summer? Did we not sit here and praise
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
and
saying.
Edwards? No, 1 second. You've come for me. If you've come for me saying that we're not going to praise them, I praise them more than anything. I can show you tweets bigging them up. But when it's time to give them shit, you give them shit. You call them out. That's the difference. When it's time to give
That's
somebody
what I'm saying.
shit,
That's why
you
I
give them
don't
shit. When
flip-flop.
it's time to call them out, you call them out. When it's time to praise them, you praise them. And we give them plenty of praise in the summer. Plenty. And they deserve it praise. I gave the window 9 out of 10. If you can't remember,
Yeah.
I gave the window 9 out of 10. But if
You
now
did,
we're
yeah, you did.
F right now, starting 4th, 5th, the manager and this team needs help. Go and do something about it.
Yeah, I just
Go and do something then. Show us the money.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I just think
Show them what-
the party's on.
Oh.
I understand. I totally do understand why you're so frustrated. But I'm if we hadn't have spent what we spent in the summer, and as I say, I have to wait and see what happens this summer because it's happened before.
Since they've been here, look,
and this is it.
they've only ever done. Look, FSG's tenure, they've only gone really big probably once. Do you agree?
Yes, I totally agree.
They've only
But
done
I
that
think
once. And they still spent less than Arsenal.
Yes, yeah, I agree. But we have been building commercially. We've been building the stadium and the stand. We've been getting to a position where there's no way on planet Earth that 4 or 5 years ago we thought we could go and get £100 million player, and we got 2 in the summer. We got 2. We broke the transfer record twice. So it's like that's not loose change. We have, and for order for us to do that over a period of time, there has got to be some fall off as well. Some balance and act. We haven't got a bottomless pit of money, and I want to wait and see. Now I'd love to record this, we will record it, but I mean, and wait and see whether or not your opinions are any different if come the summer we buy X, Y, Z, whoever they may be. Will you then think, you know what, they were right to wait because they got who they got in the summer?
If they get me top 4 and they go crazy in the summer, I'm okay with it. Yeah. I don't want to risk it, Ben. We're starting January. And we can sign fucking Lionel Messi in the summer. If you don't get me top 4, I don't give a shit. I want the owners gone and I want the manager gone. You don't get top 4, I want both gone. Because that's unacceptable. This is why I don't want my club to be in the shitter. I don't want to. Why are we risking it? We know how difficult it is to get back to the top. We spent 30 years trying to carry, to get back to where we were. We got there, and then we didn't because of not buying a defender or a forward. That doesn't sit with me. And if we miss out on a top 4, look, right now it's rosy because we're sat 3 points clear. It looks all rosy then. We look like, yeah, we're fine. If we were sat in 6th right now, 3, on the even on the same points or 1 point behind a United or a Chelsea, I guarantee you we'd be going crazy at them.
Yeah.
And
do you think they would be? Would be buying someone if we were worse?
Huh?
Do you think we would be spending this January if we were languishing in like 9th to 10th?
I think
and there was a real genuine opportunity
6th,
not get top 4.
Ben, I believe if we were sat in 6th or 7th place right now, I think the manager would be gone.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
I think the manager would be gone because I think Alonso's available right now. They would have got him and said, you know what, go and sort it out. But question to you two, do you think it's because of the Alonso's now available that they're not spending? Do you think they will make a move for Alonso?
Do you think, Gene?
I'm asking you the question.
I know, but my answer is: do you think Luis Enrique would say no to Guehi? Do you think Xabi Alonso would say no to Guehi? No, because he's a good player, and he's not. If he was £100 million and Xabi Alonso's got a call from Liverpool that, you know what, Xabi, stick around, Go have a little break for 3 months, and we'll see you shortly. He'll be ringing him saying, look, if like Ben says, we don't have a bottomless pit of cash, then look, give me that £100 million, don't spend it, and I'll get 2-3 players for that amount of money. Well, it's not £100 million, so he's not going to say no to him. And no is Luis Enrique, no is Xabi Alonso, and no is anyone who's coming through the Liverpool door if Slot gets sacked. So
the irony of Alonso is that if he does play,
Guehi improves the squad because he's versatile as well. If he's a one-trick pony for 35 million, you'd say no. He is a player who can play right back, left back, centre back, left or right.
Valid point.
And you talk about the English tax, but you pay £6 million extra just for that versatility, Ben.
Yeah, and then on the homegrown side of it, which we're really short
100%,
on as well.
100%.
Yeah. No, there isn't much of a justification for not getting him. But yeah, do you think it's realistic to say that Guehi is rejected Liverpool? Just point blank chose City ahead of us.
Yeah, you know what I said earlier? I take that back because I said Semenyo said no, Guehi. But if Liverpool have come to the table, Manchester City have arrived at the table, so naturally the prices and the demand goes high. There's a premium to pay all of a sudden. Then if Liverpool don't match that, then he's saying no to you, isn't he? As well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I take that back.
So there's a good chance that he has just said, you know what, I can go and win a league title this season. I can play for Pep Guardiola. It's a possibility that he has just literally, because City weren't at the table last summer, weren't they? And they've only come to the table now because of their injury situation. So they weren't interested in Guehi last summer. But it'd be interesting to know whether or not he would have chosen City if City had been at the table last summer.
And here's my theory. It's always been my theory, not just because the Guehi's rejected us. I can say that now because I've retracted my earlier statement. I believe we would have been more serious about these two players. And you could argue at least one of them would have been a red shirt by now. I have always maintained that FSG, Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards were flirting with the idea of selling Mohamed Salah. They had to backtrack. The player was confused, and Isak got injured. So there was no way they were letting Salah go in January if Isak was injured. But then City became interested in Semenyo, and Liverpool had to decide, are we going to pay that amount of money for Semenyo? We couldn't get it on our terms because City were sniffing around and the structure didn't appeal to us. I believe if Salah went in January, at least Semenyo or Guehi would be a Liverpool player. Because of Isak's injury, Liverpool had to backtrack and we couldn't really go for those players. And eventually they rejected us because the terms weren't good enough. I genuinely believe that.
Yeah, that's really good theory, and that could well be the case. There's so much of it that, as Gene says, we can only look at it from face value. We can only look at it as fans looking in. We don't know the bigger picture, but it's very hard to build a case where Guehi isn't a good option this window, even if it's not an absolute necessity long term. He's a good squad option. And ironically, I was going to say before, if it is Alonso who comes in the summer, and that does happen, and he's allowed to play the system he wants, which is a 3-4-3, then Guehi fits a 3-4-3 brilliantly. Left of the three, he'd be absolutely fine, wouldn't he? So, yeah, it's hard to build a case that where it's not. I think now there's a possibility that he's just chosen City over us.
Guys, people speaking about Keenan Yildiz. Guys, come on.
Indy's just tweeted.
Yeah?
Indy's just tweeted, that's why.
Yeah, with respect, man. Look, I'm already pissed off. Yeah, don't fucking get me going. We're not signing Keenan Yildiz, man. Fucking Keenan Yildiz can
at least you'll sleep up thinking about him, Shane.
No, I know it's not happening. Keenan Yildiz isn't coming to Liverpool.
Are we convinced that there's absolutely nobody this window now?
Don't rule anyone out.
Oh, fuck off. Don't rule anybody out.
Where's what's called?
We're gonna buy 2-3 players gonna come in January.
We're gonna buy.
He was on the show after Ben telling us, yeah, I can see 2-3 players coming in. That other piece of shit, Avi, where's he? Where's his time to come on? Guehi and Semenyo done to Liverpool.
Oh, don't
Where's
worry.
he, bro? He hasn't
I'm
even
taking
fucking
it
turned up.
tonight. We'll
Then
wait
you're
for
all
Avi.
right.
Don't you worry
Yeah,
about
bro.
that.
Where's he gone? I was telling him we're not going to sign anybody yet. Oh no, we're going to do this. Fucking clicking fucking owners his ass back then, and he hasn't even turned up to the show. But the wait till he comes Wednesday for the watch along of Marseille game, mate.
He's at his parents' house today, man.
On Wednesday, and I'm gonna deal with him. Lying
okay, there's a few more supers to cover. City always supporting the channel. Thank you so much for sending this through. They're okay to write off the season, plus just get top 4. Exactly what we were talking about. Hussam Chatilla, thank you so much for sending this super chat through. Slot not going to be here come new season. That's why they're not going to buy. I know, but we need to consolidate. We need to make sure of this top 4. That's the problem. If we were sitting pretty in second position and we were talking about a title charge, obviously that would be a different type of frustration. But we won't be talking about top 4 until is it a guarantee? It's not a guarantee. That's the problem. Selection back with the super chat. I suspect we'll see Chini. We'll see me what? We'll be seeing Chini with a smile on his face come summer, and Asim giggling more volatility. Fucking hell, Selection. Are you pissed? It's not like Selection. But I told you he's Avi's burner. Avi's burner. He's on the whiskey tonight. Okay. Yeah. Who else is it? I think there's one more. Yeah, there was one more. Khalid, big up Khalid. Slot is out of touch. 2 right backs have come from the academy. Did you watch the presser today, Ben?
No, I never saw it today. No, I just caught all of the quotes and bits and bobs from it, but I didn't see the presser. What is the bit that he's referring to from the academy?
Yeah, obviously we've been sending Michael Edwards to PSG and everything, a few of the clubs.
Oh yeah, I saw that where they were trying to model the academy on the PSG setup. Yeah, Julian Ward was involved as well. Before Christmas, that was apparently, wasn't it?
Yeah, before Christmas. Okay, lads, we've been going for 1 hour 12. I did say in my yeah, so that was Guehi. It was always going to be a more than an hour, which it was. We've got a small matter of Burnley coming tomorrow. We have to get 3 points. After what's happened today and the reaction from the fans, we have to get 3 points, Ben. Have to.
I don't care whether what's called City signed Messi today. 3 points tomorrow is an absolute no-brainer. And, you know, I think it'll be tough. I think it'll be really tough. You know, we weren't spectacular by any stretch of the imagination on Monday night. You know, Barnsley dug in and it made it more difficult than it looked, and the scoreline flattered us. So, you know, it wasn't the most dazzling performance at all. So tomorrow, I think it should just be about, it will be more of the same. Just, you know, get the job done. 1 or 2-0 possibly at best, I think, if I'm being honest. But I don't care at this moment in time. It's just about get the 3 points and keep that run going, and let's just get over the line.
Gene, get over the line. We've been talking about, the manager's been talking about a plan that 28 out of 30 times are you doing a poll? You know, when you lean forward and going towards that keyboard, Gene's doing a poll.
You can read him like a book, can't you?
Yeah, I can read him by a book. I know the face.
I just thought I'd put a prediction. Just get
here we go.
Everyone's prediction for tomorrow. Win, draw, or lose, loss.
The first of the 5th poll, the Gene's poll. So today's 5 to 11 is the first one. 11:30 is going to be the 8th one. So get it right. No typos in it, Gene. It's not. You can't. Don't give me a prediction, man. It's a boring one. Give me a proper, like, I don't know, an exciting poll, man. I don't want a scoreline prediction.
I want to ask people what do they think what's going to happen tomorrow, innit? What do you want me to write?
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, but no, but they can do that. But poll, you get a lot more answers. You're not going to go through every single person.
What's the poll then?
Do what prediction for tomorrow? Win, lose, or draw? What do they think? I want to see a percentage of how many people think we're going to win tomorrow.
Okay. All right, talk to me about Burnley game, Gene. They're gonna come. They're gonna park a bus. Well, we might do the same.
I think. Look, I think Burnley home. Anything less than a will is a sackable offence. Straight up. If I'm honest with you, you can't draw to Burnley at home, man. Come on. I'm confident we'll win tomorrow. I think we'll win 2-0.
We'll win 0-0.
Ben, fuck off, man. Don't give me damn vibes, man.
Win 1-0. Is that your?
I said 2-0. 2-0.
No, I said we'll win 0-0. Oh God!
I think we win tomorrow.
I think we will. We will do what we have to do,
and we need to win tomorrow, man. But yeah, we've got difficult games coming up. We have to win tomorrow. Tomorrow is the no. You have to win.
A few more days of Ekitike training as well, so we should be good to start. I think Virgil continue his form. Yeah. He scored a lovely goal against Barnsley. Obviously, it was only Barnsley, but it was still a lovely goal. So Bosley, hopefully, his correct head is screwed on rather than the crazy head that he had screwed on for that moment of madness against Barnsley. So yeah, there was and Frimpong, it was really encouraging display again as well. Looked really dangerous. So yeah, I think we should have way too much for them, but it'll be interesting to see. I think we'll need an early goal, if I'm being honest. I think the longer the game goes on, the more the crowd will get frustrated. It's going to be cold again, and it'll be hard to generate an atmosphere if we don't get an early goal and get it going. But even if we do score early, Burnley aren't going to suddenly come out of their shell and start playing. It's going to have to be a grind, isn't it? So we shall see. We're going to pick a team.
We will do, but I'm going tomorrow. So am I. Oh yeah, go on, Ben. Yeah. Sorted. We'll hook up. We'll do a preview outside. We'll do a preview and a post-match reaction.
Yeah, because the what's called the powers that be watch-alongs might be a bit of a challenge tomorrow, mightn't it? Because it's not on any of our selected channels, so we are in deep storm.
Before we do the predicted lineup,
Sheen just been caught out there. Did he not know that you were going? Are you not going, Sheen?
No, he knew. If I get something sorted, I'll go.
Because remember, you said you don't have the logins for your thing, so we thought, what's the bloody point? I'm on the post match tomorrow, Ben. See, obviously I'm the one that's been carrying the channel for the last few weeks, few weeks. So I'm carrying the channel.
Come to match, Gene. Come to match. We'll have a big hug, and we'll try and.
Ben, I'll tell you one thing. If I go tomorrow, imagine we draw tomorrow. I don't even think about it. Let me just chill out. Mate, yeah. Let me just be surrounded by people like I actually don't want to go to the game. For once, I don't want to go because anything less than a win, I don't know. My state will just be. I don't think you could handle me.
You won't watch it anyway, will you? You'll be out on the concourse, like pacing up and down in the corridors.
Yeah, we've got a yard carrier in Diamande, and we've got a channel carrier in Chin.
Go on, boy. See, they know the score, man. They know the score.
Supers. S-Jot again, big up, man. Honestly, the community surprised me every single show. Burnley prediction 2-0 up first half, second half sit back. They get one back and on the ropes of the majority. Oh my God, I don't want us to cling on tomorrow. Liverpool need a performance, and a performance against Burnley. If we win 3-0, you can't call it a statement performance. Winning against Arsenal away from home, or even away from home at home, is a statement performance. But tomorrow, Liverpool needs some proper goals. Goals. I want to see some sequence, some patterns tomorrow. Like against Barnsley.
You're gonna see sequence and patterns tomorrow. You're like,
between words and Ekitike.
You want a better performance. You want to see us perform well. Fucking patterns. I haven't seen a fucking pattern for fucking 18 months. Yeah, fucking pattern. Come on, we don't do patterns.
No, we could do it with a pattern tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Avi's not here today.
I'll give you pattern.
Avi's not here today. Avi's not here today. So Ben,
on,
I think.
I think, man, honest to God.
I think Florian Wirtz.
Like, yeah, he played well. You want him to play well, score.
He's gonna.
I'm gonna be on L6 and I'm looking at this pattern. You ain't seeing no patterns tomorrow. I can guarantee you that. There's gonna be a low block. What pattern are you gonna see?
If I don't see patterns, I'm looking my phone towards Slot's ball head.
Gene, what would be your like come 90 minutes? What would you think would be you'd be like smiling and happy and genuinely satisfied with in terms of performance and result? What would you think would have to happen?
2-0 win.
2-0
Florian
win.
Wirtz and Ekatike to score. Them two, they're right now the boys in it, yeah. So I want them two to score.
So late goals, early goals, one in each half.
Yeah, one in each half. One in the first half, one in the second. I'm happy with that. And another thing, Ben, just play some football. Where we're not like, the way when we went to Burnley away.
That means patterns, doesn't it?
No. Play some football. No, Asim, patterns. You're asking for too much.
Just horseshoe bullshit, wasn't it? Where you just
play with a bit of
intensity,
play with a bit of fight. Go at them, flipping, make them suffer. This is Anfield, man. We fucking play. Ben, please, please don't be passive. Don't fucking turn. When you're going forward, don't turn back and say, I'm going to pass it to Kanate. Or go forward. You're playing Burnley. You're at home. Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah. Give the crowds. I want to see an Anfield. I don't want to see a fucking funeral. I want to see an Anfield. That's an Anfield that's awake.
Yeah, I know. It's mad because, how I feel about Slot and how much I've defended him, but yet there's not one bone in my body that thinks we'll see any intensity tomorrow.
Yeah, this is the thing, man.
Well, that's sad, Ben.
It is sad. Home, Ben. It is. No, absolutely it is. And you know what? If anything, you need that intensity against teams like this because it can quickly become a very stale, mundane affair where you're suddenly just happy to get any win, aren't you? But let's, try and be optimistic. I think if we get an early goal, then Burnley are pretty much, dead in the water in the Premier League. So I'd like to think that they'll just be thinking, you know what, we'll just get out of there.
I tell you what, with a slow. They've got a couple of players that are not one bad. I saw them play against United, that Edwards and that guy that came and scored that left-footed top corner goal. They're two good players,
Well, I'm
not taking the piss. I think they're going to cause us problems. If them two start, I think them two are going to cause. Edwards is going to cause us problems tomorrow, mate. He's a really good footballer.
Yeah, on transition, they are very much a team.
Alex is saying maybe they're saving their pennies for Slots compo. Big up, Alex. Down under, yeah. Always supporting, man. Thank you so much, Alex. Hope the family's good as well. Okay, let's pick a team quickly. 5 minutes.
Do you think, just randomly, just a quick one? Do you think a defeat tomorrow changes this transfer perspective for January?
If we lose tomorrow, Ben, Xabi Alonso needs to come to Liverpool on Monday morning.
You'd rather have Xabi than two signings?
No, I love Xabi and two signings.
No, you can't have both. We haven't got a bottomless pig, Asim.
No. I'll have two signings and Xabi in the summer if you're making it a choice.
As opposed to no, as opposed. So yeah, that's a good question actually. Would you have two signings and Slot to the end of the season, and then Xabi in the summer, or Xabi now and no signings?
Actually, I take that back. Depends on the signings.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Gene? Would you, if you had a choice of a new manager to tomorrow or two signings and then change it in the summer, what would you prefer?
I think it's unfair to depends on signings. Of course, you can't give me bloody.
All right.
Ordinary. That's a fair signing. Come on, I'm not asking for 100 million. I'm asking for ordinary.
Well, hang on a minute. It's hypothetical, isn't it? Let's say Semenyo and Guehi then, just hypothetically.
I'll take that right now. If you said to me, Semenyo and Guehi here right now for this Liverpool right now, when these are the two players, me, you, Asim, we're all calling for, saying get these two in, make a go of it, and then see what happens. Give him his thingies. We'll take it from there. Look, people think I want the manager out. It's not about the manager out. I said I want performances. I want performances. I want this team to start playing, and if these two and I do believe these two signings would have made a big difference. So if they made a big difference, they came in, we make a go of it till the end of the summer, and we take it from there.
Because we all agree, Ben, is this regardless of the what you think of the manager and the deficiencies he's had as a manager and a coach, it is that he's desperately short of players. You can't deny that. Can't
and
deny.
the irony of it, and I know there's a lot of people who want to change and want him out, but the irony of it is this style of football is probably as boring and as depressing as it is. It's probably best suited for results to get us top four. Whereas another style play might be a lot more adventurous, or might be a lot more attacking, and a lot more creative, and a lot more easier on the eye. But then it maybe risks the results a little bit more. Slot's almost like, in a way, can bore his way to top four, can't he?
Yeah,
because that's what we've been doing over there. You know, we've got the biggest unbeaten record in the Premier League now, which is crazy. Nobody's excited, but it's getting results.
You know why? You know why nobody's excited, Ben? I'll be honest with you. Look in this unbeaten run. Look who we beat. A 9-man Spurs. Who else have we beaten?
Brighton.
Brighton, yeah. Fucking hell, we just about beat them, right? Brighton.
West Ham.
West Ham shit.
Wolves
shit. Just about.
Yeah.
Well, West Ham we played well, to be fair. We controlled the game. Wolves we just about.
Yeah.
This is this is why I hope though in the next 5
scores, weren't they?
Sorry? And the rest, this is what I'm saying. So when you actually look at that, you think that's fucking shite. If you actually look at that and think you think back and think, fucking hell, that's actually shit. If you just
Inter
about
Milan as well, if you want to include
I told him that's Champions League game, but fair play. Look, I'll give him that result. Yeah. But it's actually, that's what I'm trying to say. It's actually shit. But
okay, let's go to the
7 games. That's what I've always said. It'll be telling to see how well we do against these teams.
Yeah.
After the Burnley game.
Someone mentioned that McAllister didn't train today. Can someone confirm that in the chat? If that's a rumor,
I haven't watched it.
Can someone confirm that? I've not messaged anyone myself. I've just been busy. Can someone confirm if McAllister didn't train?
He was not. He's just basically a Lusby Jack. He goes. Alexis was not spotted at the Al-Aqsa today. That's
okay.
He posted a load of Instagram messages yesterday of him like out and about with his kid and his missus, like walking around. So it didn't. Obviously, he's not injured, but maybe they're just
okay. Let's go. Ali in net, Verge, and Guehi in centre back position. Sorry, guys. Easily done. Easily done. Easily done.
So easy.
Kirkes to come back in, guys, tomorrow.
Yep.
Yes.
Who's this is wicked. The change to say Alexa.
You're more happy, Raj.
Alexa, yeah.
I'll be honest.
She's in Palestine. She's hot in Palestine.
I mean, it's one of the Ben has been one of them days, man.
Who's playing right back, boys? I know you only got one right back, but is Frimpong playing from right wing? Is Frimpong playing from right back?
Right back.
Right back, yeah. Right back, yeah, absolutely, yeah. As what's called? Who's this flipping centre half who was on Match of the Day? Oh, what's it called? Mark, who played alongside Hansen. No, the one who was on Match of the Day. Lawrenson, yeah, Lotto. He was the legend at the. I was in the prawn sandwich on Monday night for Barnsley.
Oh, nice.
And he announced the team, and he said it right back ping pong, and the whole. And the whole room went quiet because he said I can't say his name, so I'm just saying right back at ping pong. So I'm going right back at ping pong.
You know the guy who's in? Where were you? Which lounge?
The dugout, Carlsberg dugout.
Oh, okay. Because the guy who's always at the beautiful game, he's a funny bugger as well.
Oh, he's a funny bugger.
He's a funny guy. Okay, Gravenberg in the 6. Who's playing alongside him, boys?
I think it'll be Jones then if we haven't seen McAllister today.
Okay. I think Gakpo comes back in tomorrow.
Yeah,
and Verts in the number 10.
Agree, yeah, I agree. And Szoboszlai on the right.
Sobo, Verts, and Gakpo.
What? taking the piss. I got my dad up front.
TK, there we are.
Yeah, picks itself,
43-1.
really, doesn't it?
I kind of think the team picks itself tomorrow.
Yeah, it does.
It does. Picks itself probably till May.
Until 5:30 tomorrow, because
Yeah.
you know,
No, actually, it picks itself until next Saturday against Bournemouth when Mohamed Salah returns to the fold, and that'll be interesting to see whether or not they might get away with putting him on the bench against Bournemouth because you'd be like, oh, he's just returning from AFCON, but it will be interesting to see the situation.
My team might with Mohamed Salah, especially at home. I would have Szoboszlai, Gravenberch in midfield, Salah on the right wing, and then everything else the same. But
Same. Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Another super chat's come through. S-Shot, thank you so much. He says, my dad went to school with Schlotterbeck dad. The ITK is back. But you know what? I know Gene been saying there's been some talk, and I've seen it as well, about Real Madrid sniffing around. But I think you could hear some reports about Liverpool upping the ante for Schlotterbeck. That's my opinion. It's not based on any information at all. I think Liverpool really rate Schlotterbeck. Let's see what happens. But just to finish off his super chat, he goes, I want my future son to play for Liverpool. So what we were waiting for to make a move. Okay, people, we've been going for 1 hour and 30 minutes. That was the Mark Guehi show. It's frustrating.
Painful, that one.
It was painful. It's painful, but could be worse tomorrow. You never know. You never know.
No, yeah.
Okay,
people,
thank you so much.
Ugly, no matter what.
Yeah. What's the plan, Ben? If you don't mind doing I know it's probably a conversation to have behind the
Stage.
behind the stage. Yeah. If me and you are going to do a match reaction, then
Okay.
whether you're doing it whilst you're walking out or you just find a nice little spot,
we'll do that.
we can do that. Gene will do a post-match reaction, and then we'll be back for the Sunday show with Avi as well. Avi's coming down for the main show on Sunday. Okay, people.
If we lose, you won't see me for dust.
Gene, we done, yeah?
We're done.
Okay, people. Have a good night. And hopefully we wake up tomorrow and Liverpool play some great football and we see some patterns of play as well. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a good night. Bye for now.